All right. So I got to talk about Liv Morgan for a second because I think, once again, look, she has proven why she has been the MVP of the women's division this past year. I think just this match in the Elimination Chamber, her selling, her facial expressions, her storytelling in the ring, I just think it's all so good, right? And I get it. I think there's a lot of people who think she's overpushed, who doesn't think she deserves it, and everything like that. You know, I can understand why, right? When you have people like Rhea Ripley and you have Charlotte Flair, Bianca and Becky, like these are really good wrestlers, and Liv has had to really work hard to get a lot better. I mean, I'm not going to sit here. I'm a fan of hers, a big fan of hers, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I think wrestling wise she's better than or like athletically as good as Charlotte. I think Charlotte is just on a different level when it comes to her execution of moves and everything like that, right? But I do think that Liv really captures, and this is why I'm a big fan of her, is because she captures what it means, in the business to be entertaining, to tell a story, right? Like it's not just the moves and it's not just like the matches you have or whatever, or if you win a lot or if you don't win or if you're tough or whatever. It's like the things she does in between, especially in that women's division. I think she is pretty a little bit ahead of the pack in my opinion. Where, for example, the way she sells, the way she is always in character, right? Like in the match, even if she is on the side and Raquel or whoever else is in the ring, like she is doing something to further her character or to stay in her character outside of the ring. It's not just she's out there and just like smacking the apron and looking around and amping up the crowd. It's like she is, getting you to hate her. And she just has that charisma and like that X factor that I think people always talk about, or I think she does. And you hear all the people in the business always talk about it. Like there's that thing that like you can't really explain it, but there's that thing. And I don't know. I also think too, if you just see how like the work rate that she's done over the past year, right? Like if I mean, for me, you go back to the Royal Rumble a little bit, or even further back, but like even the past year, right? Like she was out with an injury, and when she came back, right? And I'm talking just her as a person, and not necessarily as a character or whatever, but like that sucks to not be part of last year's WrestleMania. I think it sucks that like it was one of the best WrestleManias and she wasn't on the show. And I'm sure she really wanted to like prove that, hey, like she can, be a big part of the company, be a big part of the business. And even when she was the champion, it's like people were knocking her a little bit, where she doesn't always win, clean or whatever. Like she can't really go toe to toe with someone who is like more powerful than her. And to me, like what she's done the past year with everything with the Judgment Day, everything with Rhea, you know, and then the work she's done. I was there. I watched the Royal Rumble, watched her Saturday Night Main Event. I watched her. You watch her just kind of be like tough as hell, right? Like the things that she got absolutely um I think a knee to the face. Her nose got busted open, right? In Saturday Night Main Event. On Raw, she got busted open on her head. She was bleeding. And then in the Royal Rumble, she was in the Rumble, I think second, right? She came in second, and or it was one of the first. And then she was in there for basically the entire duration of the Rumble, which takes a lot, right? And then here at the Chamber, she starts the Chamber, starts the match, and then she goes through so much hell in this match, gets that absolute uh devastating whiplash from Bianca's hair. Like that spot is always just, it's crazy how that whole thing, it's not a sound effect or whatever. It's just it's wild. And then she posts a picture of all the bruises and bumps she's taken. I just feel like, look, if you don't like her because she has an annoying character or whatever, you don't believe that she's viable as a threat 'cause she's small, that's one thing, right? But I just think as a person, as a performer, you got to give Liv, Gianna, however, you see her as, like, you got to give her props to being such a reliable worker that the company has been able to use, right? Like if you think about storyline wise this past year, what have been the main big storylines, right? It's been Bloodline. It's been, when you kind of lump in Rock and there and Cody, Kevin Owens. and Sami Zayn and Randy Orton, that thing. But it's also been Judgment Day, right? And what has been a big part of the Judgment Day since Rhea was out for a long time, it was Liv and Dom, and just the way that whole dynamic really was such a big part of the show. Um, and I'm sure I'm missing a couple other big moments in this year, but I just think again, like if you look at every aspect of what she has done this year, this past year, and still continues to do, it's just so incredible, right? Like the, again, what she does in the ring, she's improved a lot, right? Is she perfect? No, right? But not, I mean, not. There aren't a lot of you know perfect performers, at any point. But even in the women's division too, it's like it's hard to you know, like it's hard to get the same level of matches as you do, with the guys. It's just a bit of a different thing. It's a bit of a different storytelling or whatever. But with Liv, I think she has put in the work. She has, I mean, hell, she has her own ring in her home, in her property, right? And that kind of stuff, like to me, I love seeing that because it just, and not that, I mean, look, I mean, you don't need, people can go to Performance Center and shit like that, but I just think that I love seeing that with someone like Liv is because, she said like, she is all in right now in her career. Like, yeah, I'm acting, and she's done stuff like that in movies and TV shows. She's done stuff like that. I don't know if she's in a relationship or whatever, but I just feel like there is such a strong focus for her to just be all in on the business right now. And you can tell, like, you can just tell it's like, she's all in on it. And also too, like, she came by New Jersey for a little bit for a signing when they were in the Saturday night main event. She is one of the top people who does signings, right? Like, she's doing signings, she's doing a lot of promo, she's doing a lot of press, she's always on like shows and promoting stuff. Like, she's always one of the main people promoting the product. And I feel like it is such a big thing. And it's a big credit to her for being someone who promotes the business, promotes the company as often as she does. So I just give a lot of credit to her for that. And again, like I mentioned a while ago, like I've been a big fan of hers for a long time, even before again she was with the main roster, even before she was on NXT, because he worked out of Joe DeFranco's gym here in New Jersey, and I live, I live near his old gym, which is what, like, years ago. I don't think he has the same gym anymore now, where he used to train a lot of kids and stuff, and like pro athletes and aspiring pro athletes. And it was only like 15, 20 minutes from where I grew up, and I remember seeing her on Joe DeFranco's, old video vlogs and whatever. And I was, I'm a diehard wrestling fan. So whenever he said there's this Gianna who's trying to train to become a pro wrestler or whatever, get a tryout. It kind of just caught my eye, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, she's like on NXT, or she was on that she was on this like WWE network behind the scenes show that featured people that were going to NXT with Carmella, Liv, Sasha, Bailey, um, Baron Corbin. Those guys were on there. But just seeing how far she's come is incredible. And again, she's tough as hell, right? Like the things that she's done, from getting knocked out during the time when when she with an incident with Nikki Bella, or the one of the Bella twins, and even to now, right? Just like, again, like I just said, everything that she has put her body through, she really just is a badass. She's tough as hell, and she does it all like willingly with a smile on her face. Rarely anytime is her, there's no stories of her complaining, I don't think, and making a big scene of like, oh, I lost the title, so I'm gonna go on Twitter and complain about it. I'm gonna, I didn't get to be on a X, Y, and Z PLE, so I'm gonna complain about it or whatever. It's like you don't really hear that from her. And I just think that those are the kind of people and wrestlers and superstars you want in a company, who are just so good and also are very good for the company too. Not just good in the ring and good at promo, but good for the company. So again, like, I get it. A lot of people may not like her because whatever reason, but I just don't think you can deny that she has been one of the MVPs of the past year or so. Because I think the work she's done has been incredible.